Can you see me through the barbed wire? The bleeding's almost done. Can you see me through the barbed wire? The bleeding's almost done. Caught up in a web of lies my own mind spun. Can you see me through the window? I haven't cleaned in months. Dirt and crime of a heart that didn't learn this young. Falling like a house of cards in the cleanup spades. Growing pains of my heart. There are cracks in the foundation that I was built upon, filling them with putty that should get the job done. The hands of time are slipping, my nails are nearly gone. Floorboards peeling up, this is what my mind's become. Falling like a house of cards on the cleanup spades, growing pains of my heart. Falling like a house of cards on the cleanup spades, growing pains of my heart. You will be hurt and you will heal. It's all a part of the plan, my dear. It's a growing pain and you will deal. It's all a part of the experience, my dear. Falling like a house of cards on the cleanup spades, growing pains of my heart. Falling like a house of cards on the cleanup spades, growing pains of my heart. Woo!
Nice.
Beautiful.
Thank you, everybody,
Thanks.
for tuning in. Please post some questions for Ellsworth, who you just saw perform. And so we are on Instagram for those people on Instagram. I think, Mitch, you're watching YouTube as well. So
Yep.
post them. We'll get to them later on in the show.
Yeah, and without further ado, that was Growing Pains, and let's introduce our amazing guest for tonight. This is Megan, also known as Ellsworth. Megan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing great.
Awesome.
Thank you for joining us. Tell us about that first song.
Yeah. That song was written at the very beginning of quarantine last year. And I was, as we all were, just kind of, in a sad, dark place. And that song was kind of born out of that struggle. And it just kind of like came, it was one of those times where you're just journaling and it just kind of spills out of you, and you don't really know what's it about or anything. So I wrote it like that, and then I took it to the editing table many times, and took it to some professors via Zoom and while I was still in school, and now it's what it is, and I love it. It was the first single that I released off of my album last December, and yeah, that's Growing Pains.
Awesome. And so that for people who don't know, this is our first time meeting you, even though it's virtually. But I kind of want to just start from the beginning. Like, tell us like how you got started in music. When did that begin?
Yeah. So yeah, and it's so nice to meet you guys, or meet. I have been playing guitar since I was 8. My dad taught me how to play, and I did the regular kid thing. I'd learn a couple chords, and then I wouldn't touch the guitar for 4 months, and then I'd pick it up again, and so on and so forth. And when I reached 8th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, I started kind of playing it more seriously and putting my own words and melodies and ideas to the chords that I was learning. And songwriting just kind of happened naturally for me. I didn't really want to learn anyone else's songs. I just wanted to write my own. And then I played music all throughout high school and college. I'm in a great band called Sister Neapolitan, and I have just been playing ever since. And I've been gigging since I was 14, and my 23rd birthday is next month, so almost 10 years now. And yeah, I don't know what I would do without it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Also, happy birthday to Mitch. His was a couple days ago, so.
Oh, happy birthday!
Sneak that in there.
Thank you. And so you mentioned you've been playing for quite some time now. And then is this the first actual studio record that you've put out under ELLSWORTH, or? Yeah, so it's
under
a long time
ELLSWORTH.
in the making.
Yeah, long time in the making. I used to go by my first and middle name, which is just Megan Rose. But there's so many Megan Roses in the world, and they are all musicians apparently. Wow. So I released 2 EPs in high school that were they were high school songs, and
right.
And so my goal for graduating college was to come out of it with a full-length album and to just start doing it full time. And so my professor Matt Hoffman, who was my songwriting professor at University of Colorado, Denver, he suggested that we record my album together, and he was gonna help me, and we just did it in his basement. It was so great. And so yeah, this is my first full-length album. Wow. And first anything under ELLSWORTH, which is my last name. And so I just decided to go by that because I thought it just sounded cool, and it's still my name. And yeah, it just allows a little more creative room, I think. It's less a person based, and can be kind of anything I want. Right.
Yeah, the record really came out sonically sounding amazing. I thought it fit your voice and kind of your aesthetic really well. So
thank you.
Props on that.
Oh, thanks.
And how was the album received once you released all this music that you've been working on for so long? How was that releasing that music to everybody and hearing the feedback?
Yeah, it was thrilling and terrifying all at the same time. And I think it was received very well, which I'm so happy to say. Those few days leading up to the album release were so nerve-wracking, and releasing the singles was even nerve-wracking, but everyone just loved it, and it felt really, really good. And yeah.
Awesome.
And aren't you the current 303 Artist of the Month for Indie 1023?
Yes, I am among a very incredible list of women, female identified musicians here in Denver that are the local 303 for this month of March, which is International or Women's History Month for Indie 1023, and it's so awesome.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
That is very awesome.
Yeah, we hope it helps springboard you, because your album really does sound amazing. Everybody should go check it out. I mean, it is it is radio. Like it can definitely, it's got wings, it can fly. So congratulations. We really hope it does that for you. Speaking of music, could you play another song for us?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Give us a little intro to this one if you don't mind.
Yeah. This one's called Fight or Flight. And it's I struggle with mental health, as we all do, as many people do, and this song came out of a just tough mental time. I'm not good at love, dear. I give till it hurts. Get smoke in my eyes. Fall into the fire. Fight or flight kicks in. You'll see me running. Please don't hold my hair. At the trash can there. Pouring from an empty cup. Giving hollow thoughts. Running ragged right down to the bone. No skin, no soul. How do I say no? I'm a digger and I fade on the wall. I'm a goddamn digger and I break when I fall. I'm not good in combat. I get scared real quick. Apologize when they're wrong. I get stuck in the thick of it. Hurricane on my heart. Adrenaline sets in. Fuzz over my eyes. Pretend it never happened. Pouring from an empty cup. Giving hollow thoughts. Running ragged right down to the bone. No skin, no soul. How do I say no? I'm a digger and I fade on the wall. I'm a goddamn digger and I break when I fall. When I fall. When I fall. I'm a goddamn digger and I break when I fall. Done with the cycles I'm in, threatening to tear it all apart. Sink or swim kicks in, I'm drowning in all of my faults. All my faults. My faults. My faults. I'm a goddamn digger
Beautiful. For those just joining, we are here with ELLSWORTH tonight. I have to do a quick little plug for us. For those, I don't know where you're joining us from, but you can also find us at downbeatdenver.com. Please go do that. And if you want to help support everything that we got here, we got a little merch page. You can get to it from Downbeat Denver. We sell swag. Please buy some. Sport it around town, stickers and coffee cups and socks and baby onesies and, you name it, we got it. And we have a goal. This goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So please go over there, hit subscribe, do all that fun stuff. It's something that, it helps kind of push our cause, which is kind of helping the cause. So, that one's free. Buying merch, we'd love to see that stuff around town too. So please take the opportunity to go out and do that. And if you haven't done it yet, post some questions for ELLSWORTH in the chats, wherever you're chatting, and we will get to those shortly. We are going to ask for another song because we love the music so much. You've got such a beautiful voice. So if you don't mind serenading us one more time, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. This one's called When You Do, and it was the second single I released off of the album. Sensitivities drowning in an energy drink. Miles apart hearing the same melody. Oh, it's over now, but it still stings. She always said it was the little things. My heart still sits empty, collecting dust. Painful reminder of the time we spent. Wind picks it up, throws it back to my chest. Never forget, even when you do. Something in her head she can't quite get out. Hidden chamber she's hiding behind. Monsters beneath her bed, same as mine. Honey in the end, my heart still sits empty, collecting dust. Painful reminder of the time we spent. Wind picks it up, throws it back to my chest. I'll never forget it, even when you do. She was a tornado on my county line. All I ever dreamed of, nightmare of my mind, left me in this drought I'm drowning in tonight. Oh, my heart still sits empty, collecting dust. Painful reminder of the time we spent. Wind picks it up, throws it back to my chest. I'll never forget, even when you do. Even when you do. When you do, when you do.
Very nice. Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Thank you.
So we've got some questions from the chat. People interacting here. Provenbadlands.mp3 says, asks, how has your songwriting evolved over the years? Great question.
Yes, I actually know them. Aria, hello. I would say my songwriting has progressed over the years. In the sense, I started that off weird. I guess I've progressed. That I can be a little more critical with myself and with the words that I write and everything I write. I hope that I become even more so able to kind of detach a little bit emotionally from the song and kind of look at it from like a different perspective, like a detached perspective a bit, so I can, write the best pieces of music I can write. But I also think that one thing that I have tapped into over the years is I used to just totally go by the muse and inspiration and never really know what my songs are really about. But now I feel as though I'm able to kind of tap into those emotions as I'm writing the song, and I can feel and know what it's about in the moment, and that helps me write to that point more clearly and maybe more poetically even. So I think I've just matured as a songwriter for sure.
Right. Yeah, it's like finding your voice,
Yeah.
finding what you want to say and how you want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Through that process, did you find, maybe once the album was recorded, listening back, did you find any like common themes that maybe you didn't know existed prior?
Yeah, I definitely have. And also just people kind of like recognizing themes throughout the album as well and telling me that, and like that just totally, I'm like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense, and I never even thought about that. Someone told me they saw, or they also struggled with mental health, and specifically panic disorder, which I also suffer, or not suffer from, but I also have. And they were telling me that the album brought them a lot of like the sense of understanding, like someone else understood what they were feeling, and also that there was a way to kind of look at the pain differently. And that touched me so much. I was like I was floored when this person told me that. And yeah, I'll never forget that. But I think that in itself is kind of a theme common in the album, is just mental health. For sure, it's a big one. There's, obviously quite a few breakup kind of songs in there, but I would say overall a major theme of the album is I guess maybe even finding yourself, or like struggling through the pain, surviving anyways.
Right. Yeah, that is sweet to get feedback like that and know that your music, you're not just putting it out there, but it's actually resonating with people, and that they're connecting with it in a new way. I'm sure it's inspiring to hear that that kind of feedback too. Yeah,
that's what I feel like we all set out to do.
Right.
Even if it's just one person that you positively affect, and so yeah.
So we have another question. This is from the Beach People. They ask, what time of day do you like to write?
Oh, that's an interesting question. That has also changed over the years. Like a few years ago, I was predominantly writing like right before bed. And I'm elderly at heart, so I go to bed, like, this is past my bedtime. When you guys said 9, I was like, ooh, okay, I gotta drink some tea.
Thank you for staying up.
I'm in bed by now. Yeah. But usually, like a couple years ago, this would be my writing time, like right around now. But now I would say it really varies these days, especially since we're like home all the time, and I kind of have more, I do have more home time. It definitely varies. I would say it does tend to strike more on my writing happens more on the weekends, I would say now. And kind of mid-morning, like at least the past, maybe this is super recent, like the past 3 days, I've been feeling strikes of inspiration, or like, ooh, I want to pick up my guitar, like right around like 10 or something. And that's kind of inconvenient when you have a job, but yeah. There I am typing away on my computer, ooh, journaling. And so yeah, I would say like that has definitely evolved, but kind of mid-morning, weekends for sure.
Nice. Somebody says, have some virtual tea, a little tea emoji.
Thanks.
And then Proven Badlands, one more question in the chat that I'll get to, asks, were there any artists or musicians in particular that inspired the sound or direction of your album?
Oh, big
Another
time.
Great question.
Yeah, that is a great question. I would say number one inspiration for like while I was making this album was Phoebe Bridgers. She had she released Punisher like early last year, and that's when we were kind of right in the thick of recording the album, and just all the sounds that she uses on that album Punisher, and just her songwriting is just, oh my gosh, she is in, I love her. And so I would definitely say she was a big influence on the album, and as well as Brandi Carlile. Her latest album that she released, I think 2019, 2018, impacted me in a big way. And ever since she released that album, I've just like, I already loved her before then, but now it's like super fan love. And that album, I'm blanking on the name of it. I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember. But that album was a big influence as well.
Very cool. Well, Matt, I'm sure we got some questions if you want to handle the question snare.
Absolutely. So Mitch asks all the insightful questions. I pull random stuff out of a snare drum. So it's snare drum time. All right. For those who don't know, it's a snare drum full of random internet questions. So it's fun.
Woo.
Why not? You know? So let's see. It's looking kind of empty tonight, but grab one of these. Oops. What's your opinion on the current state of the world?
Oh.
That might be kind of deep.
Wow.
Or the
hard
current
hitter
state in music.
Or
maybe
music. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
or in music, yeah. Well, my opinion on the current state of the world is that I want to live in a trailer in the middle of nowhere and be completely off grid. That's how I'm feeling about the current state of our world. But I think there's a lot of hope, hopefully. And I think that there's a lot of horribleness also that we all need to trudge through. I know I am relearning a lot of things and continuing to learn things about our own political system that I didn't know, and relearning things about race and religion, and like I said, politics, government. We all just need to continue to educate ourselves and to seek out education in the areas that you know you're lacking, and also allow space for someone to say like, hey, that's not right, or I think you should read something on that. Yeah, it's really scary right now. I was home last summer. I'm originally from Oregon, and last summer there were a lot of wildfires, obviously, here and in Oregon. And there's this creek that runs by my childhood home that went completely dry last summer, and I've never seen that happen before. And it was so scary because we were like in peak wildfire season. There was one like 10 miles from my parents' house, my childhood home, and then the creek runs dry. It just felt like Armageddon was starting. And so it's scary, but I truly find a lot of solace in things like this, in connecting with people again, even if it is via Zoom and live streaming. And I also find a lot of solace in nature these days. I've always found that there, but hopefully in like 3 months, I will be living in a trailer, or 4 months, and I will be playing music outside with my cat and my dog and my partner, and it'll be great. Nice. So I think we should all just live off grid and go back to the land.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. And, you got to call out the bad stuff for sure. Like, I think that's definitely a big part of it. If you sit silent, then you're contributing. And so, yeah, I totally agree. That's a good, I think rundown on the current state is be hopeful, be mindful, and get in a trailer and disappear into the woods. Write some music, All right. Yeah. Maybe this one won't be as intense. Let's see. All right. What's your favorite season and why?
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a real toss-up. It's either spring or fall. Spring, because it's like a rebirth. You're coming out of the darkness of winter, and it's so wonderful. But here in Colorado, I feel like we don't really get spring. Coming from Oregon, where we have like a true spring, and moving to Colorado was a real whirlwind, because we literally have blizzards in April, and we have one expecting this weekend, and it was 67 yesterday. But I love spring, but I also love fall, because you're trying to get out of the summer, you're sweating your balls off, and it's just so hot, and you want winter to come. So I'm gonna give a double-sided answer and say spring and fall.
We'll take it. This isn't serious. The snare question police aren't going to come after you, so yeah. 2. Why not? I like them all. Okay, last one here. Let's see. Can read it here. Oh, wow. Man, we're pulling some crazy ones tonight. How has your perception of the world changed over time? Sorry, it's another deep one.
That's a good one. Oh, it has changed in so many ways. I grew up in a very small town in Oregon, and of like 2,000 people. And I actually lived in an even smaller town 15 miles west of that town where I went to high school. But the town I lived in is called Camp Sherman, and my parents still live there. I love Camp Sherman. And that has probably permanently, like year-round, like 200, 300 people that live there. And in the summertime, it goes up because it's usually like just a summer vacation town. And moving from there to first Santa Fe, New Mexico, where I went to school for a year, and my college actually went bankrupt and closed. Having that experience, and then going back to Oregon for like 3 months, and then moving to Colorado, and staying here and meeting such diverse people that I had never even met before. And it's just so incredible. I can't even describe, like, I'm such a different person now from 8 years ago, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm so glad that I have been enveloped by this community of musicians and artists and creatives here in Denver, because it's so beautiful. And it might not be as big or luxurious as LA or whatever, but it's so great. And there are so many diverse voices here that I would never have been around in Sisters, Oregon. And I'm very glad and grateful for that.
Well, we're glad you made your trek all the way here to Colorado as well. And, the community is something that Mitch and I are constantly, praising and trying to help. And, it's people like you, who've moved here and have brought your amazing, art with you and your skills and beautiful voice. So thank you for coming all the way to Colorado, and thank you for coming on our show. Before we start,
thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we wrap things up, can we tell people how to get in touch with you?
Yes. Sign up for my email newsletter.
Right down here, people. It's easy. Name, email, go for it.
Yeah. Do it.
So that's at Ellsworth, thefolksinger.com right there. Mm-hmm. And for those people that are watching on Instagram, go find her. Give her a follow. You know you want to. We'll keep up with this. So
yes, yeah.
And then make sure you guys go check out, if you haven't already, make sure you go check out her debut album, self-titled album called Ellsworth. It's really, really good.
Thank you.
And that's available on all the streaming sites, I'm sure.
Yes, all the streaming sites. I have physical copies.
Awesome.
Trying to distribute those online, somehow figuring that out. And then, but if you would like a physical copy, you can just DM me on Instagram or Facebook, or you can send me an email. You can find my email on my website, and I can personally deliver to you if you live in the area, or I can mail CDs out. I also have t-shirts and merch on my website. If you're interested, I actually just got face masks. So if you would like one, they are on my website. And just
look at that.
Let's hang out. I know.
What a world we're living in.
That's some awesome merch. Yeah.
I know.
Nice.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well,
thank you.
And for if anybody wants to get in touch with us, we love to just be in touch with everybody from the community. So please reach out to us if you know of an artist who may want to come on the show, or just have questions, just want to talk with us. You can reach us on our website, www.downbeatdenver.com, or any of the social media sites as well. We would love to hear from you. And thank you everybody for watching. This was a fun one for sure. Matt, you got anything?
Thanks everybody. That's it. Get one more song, and
thanks.
That's I will see you next week. We do have an artist lined up for next week, and we want to kind of keep that rolling, so definitely get in touch with us, and let's get you on the books.
Love it.
Thank you for everybody tuning in tonight, and we're going to wrap it out with one last song from Ellsworth. Could you please intro this song?
Yeah. Thanks everybody for watching, and thank you Mitch and Matt for having me. So great to be here. This song is called Fall. It is on my album. Please go like and follow my Spotify or my Apple, whatever you listen on, or Google or Amazon. All the things. This one's called Fall, and I wrote it after I wrote it during one of my first relationships. Been burned before, but I can't see the flames. Know what I'm walking into is the name of the game. With her hands across my back, I'd fiddle my bones. With her hands across my back, I settle my bones. Mama, I am scared by how fast I fall. Mama, I am scared by how fast I fall. Heart jumps from my chest, giving up for a fall. Fell head first, I'm in the fire now. Never thought my heart would go down. Here I am, lying in her arms. Here I am, lying in her arms. Mama, I am scared by how fast I fall. Mama, I am scared by how fast I fall. When I fall, I plummet like a rock. Mama, I'm scared by how much. I'm losing a battle I can't win. Losing a battle I already fought. Mama, I am scared by how fast I fall. Mama, I am scared by how fast I fall. Mama, I am scared by how fast I fall. Thanks, everybody.